We are live. How are you, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm fine. You, Peter.
Good, good, good.
Good.
Welcome everybody. We're
Yeah.
uh we're
Hi,
streaming
Peter.
live. Can we Do you hear me there? Okay, cool. So welcome everybody. We're welcome to another episode of Docker Talk here on streaming live on YouTube. We have today Kevin Alvarez with us of GitHub Actions fame. So Kevin wrote a huge chunk, if not all, of our GitHub action. And
Was
we
a
just
teamwork.
released,
Yeah.
yeah, and we just released V2.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
On
Let
Monday,
me
I think. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
awesome. Let me make sure we are live. We're using it. We're again. Everybody's like, oh, you're using a new piece of software on us. Yep, we're live. Okay, cool. And yeah, so we just when do we release V2?
I think it was on Monday. Yeah. What pretty ready actually. So we thought going GA was great at this time. So yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So let me put up on the screen. You could see there's a link right there that you can go and check out Docker's GitHub Actions. Go test them out, play around with them,
Yeah.
build some stuff. Let us know. Hit us up on Twitter. You can find Kevin there at Crazy WS.
Yeah.
And then you guys will
Oh.
probably I'll put mine up later.
Yeah. About my username or something like that. Many users asked to me why this username. This make no sense. Was
Yeah.
because when I mix, I kind of a DJ amateur, and it's my scene name if you want. Yeah, that's why.
Okay. Yeah, I was curious of where the crazy Max came from, and then
Yeah,
I found out your real name is Kevin. I was like,
yeah.
I thought it would be Max.
Max. Yeah, everybody say that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, cool. Yeah. So Kevin's a software engineer and works on open source software on the side.
Yeah.
In its free time.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wanted to kick things off. I'm going to do 5 rapid questions to get to know Kevin.
Yeah.
We're going to try something new. But
Okay.
all right, let's kick it off. So first question is I know everybody's dying to know. So day-to-day development, do you use a Mac, Windows, or Linux? Or Linux for you purists out there?
I was previously on Linux Mint,
Yeah.
but I switched to Windows because I wanted to test WSL2.
Yeah.
I think it's a great product. I was a little curious about the workflow behind this kind of implementation. And for Docker, it was a good choice for me because I wanted to test Windows containers with Linux containers. So since 2 months, I'm on Windows with WSL2 activated and Docker 2010. Yeah.
Cool. Nice. Yeah, I have a Windows machine, and
Yeah.
but day to day I use my Mac.
Okay.
I've just been using it for so long. Before that, I used Windows a ton, and honestly, it's the little things, right? My Windows machine's great. WS2 is great. It's really going back and forth between the different keys with cut, copy, and paste, and where the control.
I've got a keystroke to recover my old habits. So yeah, me too.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. So, all right, next one. Now, this can be a war here on the internets too. What text editor or IDE do you use?
I was on IntelliJ pretty much time to code. This is my favorite IDE. Yeah, I use it all the time for Go, Java, PHP sometimes. Yeah, and JavaScript
Cool.
for front-end things.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, what is your favorite programming language? Doesn't have to be the one you use the most. So, doesn't
yeah.
but yeah. So,
Yeah, it's not the most at work. Yeah, but I love Golang. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
cool.
a
Okay.
very nice product language. Sorry, and I kind of also learned to code with Ziglang. Ziglang is kind of a new language. I try
Oh.
to evaluate around this language. It's a good compromise between Go and Rust, I think. And I'm curious about it. I read a lot of things about this language, and I want to learn more about it. Yeah.
Ah, interesting. No, I haven't played around with that at all. I was,
Yeah, I've done some error words or pretty basic things like an HTTP handler or something like that, but nothing fancy. Yeah.
yeah,
For
yeah,
now.
cool. Yeah, yeah, cool, cool. All right. Um, okay, so last one here. So I'm I'm super interested to hear this answer.
Yeah.
Would you rather be able to speak every language in the world or to be able
Mm.
to talk to animals?
Mm. What kind of animals now?
All animals. Oh no.
um, I think llama is a pretty strange animal, and I would love to know what it think. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I have
that's
to choose someone.
yeah, it's a tough one. It tells us a lot about you, Kevin. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. So right now I'm studying Spanish. So every morning I'm studying like 6 a.m. for 2 hours. So the language thing is very interesting to me. But yeah, like you, it would be some animals are pretty interesting. It'd be cool to find out what is going on in their head.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, and then I don't know if it would be an audible talking or if you just have a mind meld. That'd be pretty cool. You just could walk
Mm.
by an animal and go,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hey,
I
Jude.
know,
How are
I
you?
know. Yeah, hey bear, hey bear, we're just
I
camping here.
run.
Just leave us
I run. I
alone.
run.
Yeah, yeah, right on. Cool, cool. So it looks like we got some folks showing up in the chat. So I got a shout out for you here. Um,
Ah,
let's see.
near Dio, yeah. So Node
Yeah,
project, but
yeah.
yeah, it's kind of a platform, WAMP, like kind of WAMP for Windows. It's kind of a lot of tools like Node, Go, PHP, and many tools behind this project. Yeah.
Nah, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, and you have
Yeah. That
Verona.
that must
Yeah.
that's my stepbrother.
Ah, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, when I was giving a Docker talk at DockerCon, of course it was all online, virtual and live, and my parents have never seen me spoke, or teach or anything, so my mom and dad were actually on my in one of my talks, and I
Oh.
saw my yeah, I saw my dad's name go by on the chat. Hi, Peter. I said, I think that's my dad, and my
Yeah,
parents
that's
are in
pretty
live.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. It's good to get family support.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, thanks everybody for joining.
Yeah,
If you're just
sunshine.
jumping on, we're talking to Kevin. He has done a ton of work in our GitHub action, our Docker GitHub Actions. And so we thought we'd have him on. And he's also I want to congratulate you. So you are one of our newest captains.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Yeah.
Was very happy to see that. I was glad that you were nominated and accepted.
Yeah, thanks for this. Yeah. Yeah. Very nice to work with you. It's a very nice community. And I just want to work with you at this time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's been great, and you've been huge in the community, especially around the GitHub Actions, just helping out a ton, and
Yeah.
also been on a couple of our live streams, helping us answer questions. So I really appreciate that too. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool,
No problem.
cool, cool. Well, let's jump into it. So today I thought we'd talk about GitHub Actions, right? GitHub Actions have come on really strong. We've been looking at, at Docker, we're really focused back on more shifting a little bit left. More back to the developers, and we call it the inner loop a lot. But we're really focused on going from code on your desktop into the cloud, and that certainly involves CI/CD, right? And GitHub Actions are starting to climb in popularity. It used to be. I'm I'm one of those old devs, so Jenkins have been ingrained in a lot of a lot of companies, a lot of teams. A lot of folks are doing CI/CD and Jenkins. Jenkins is awesome. There's a lot of other players in the market, but GitHub Actions seem to fit in really nice, especially if your code is living right there. But
it's a good fit, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good fit for sure. And so we really appreciate you working on those. So thought we'd jump in. Maybe you could give us a little bit of demo, and I can ask some questions along the way. Okay, awesome.
Okay.
So let me. I will pull up your screen here. Move us out of the way.
Okay.
So have at it.
What I want to do for this demo, it's going to create a very simple Golang app, which is a simple, very simple HTTP handler. So first thing, I have my package main. Okay, I will create a simple func. So let's do this. Here we create HTTP and simple HTTP handler, I think, yeah. An under func. I will listen on or kind of work hard to listen on or on 3 points. So it will be like this. And I will create a response writer. Yeah. Okay. And I want a request. I do this because I want to pass, I think, some parameters to the request to show you, for example, what we can do dynamically on this. For example,
awesome.
I think I will do this for if I want to create a Docker image. Maybe I want to display the current version of my application or something like that. So I think it's a good fit here. Pretty basic print. Okay. I will write this to my response writer, and we'll say hello. You have requested the request. I will put, for example, a name. If it's a good fit, or the URL. I pass. Yeah, okay. And I will listen to and server. We make this on HHE. Okay. And no handler at this time. I don't want to catch exception or something like that. We don't care. It's a demo.
The demo. Yeah.
So I've got my Golang app ready. Pretty much. Now, what we do most of the time when we are on CI/CD, we have to install Golang. We have to build the app. We have to deploy the app through a Docker image, for example, or a binary, so multi-binaries if you are cross-platform. And I think I will create a Docker image now. Okay, let's do this. Simple Docker file. The purpose of this Docker file, I have to stick to a Golang version. So a Golang image is available today, since some day now. I will stick to the latest table. So Golang King 15. Yeah. I will use an Alpine one. Okay. And now I will create work there. App. Okay, I will copy my files. Oh, it's pretty basic. I could use cache or something like that, but it's very fancy. But we could go through maybe later. Yeah. I will maybe check out the Golang. Okay. Reach to know what is currently built, what is the environment around Golang. For For example, I want to know the Go arc because I will probably do multi-platform build. So it will show everything for me. So I will do a pretty basic Go build here. I will make it verbose. I will call it demo. And I will do, my main is here. Okay. And that's it. I'm pretty much ready. So it was the stage. I can call it the stage build, for example, or builder. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So it's my stage that we build my app. It's pretty basic. I only need this. Okay. Now I will use the scratch image to. You maybe know why. If you are familiar with Golang and with Docker.
Yes.
I will copy only my binary because I only did this. It's a statically typed binary, so I only did this. I don't need any environment around that.
Right.
Even so, it's pretty basic. I copy my demo, to /demo. Don't care. And so my demo binary will be available here. I can expose 8080, and also I've got an entry point will be my /demo. Okay, so here I'm pretty ready, I think. Let's try building this. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, just real quick to mention to people what Scratch is. So from scratch on line 10 there. Yeah. Just real briefly, what's the difference between from scratch and let's say from Golang at the top there?
From scratch is a very thin layer. There is nothing. So from scratch, it's pretty much nothing. So it's kind of an empty container, an empty image, if you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's very popular for app like Golang, for example, or other ones also. Also, other users use this to push their configuration in the from scratch image to use it in a cluster, for example, or something like that. If you want to use your configuration around your cluster, your nodes, etc.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so all the when you do a from, you're using an image, and you can, if you're an object-oriented programmer, you can think it as inheritance, basically. So you want to use the functionality of and you go down that higher that inheritance chain, and you get all the way down to scratch.
Yeah.
So your base image, right?
Yeah. So your layer will be only this, only copy, expose, entry point. Everybody here is skipped because I only get the latest stage.
Perfect.
So that's it. So now I think I'm. So I'm on WSL2, WSL2, as you can see. Yes, 2010 BET and BuildX 042. Okay. So I'm going to list. I'm going to use BuildX. BuildX. What is BuildX? It's the new builder of Docker. It's a pretty nice builder. Why? That's because it allows multi-platform, for example, builds. Let's say you develop something for ARM, for Raspberry or something like that. You can do it easily with BuildX in one image, only one, not X image per platform. So I think it's a pretty good fit for people who want to portage, render your app, for example, Linux, AMD64 or ARM or Darwin 2 if you want. Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm going to use it today. I will list my builders. What is a builder? A builder is pretty much a daemon, if you want, that will do the build for you. You can have X builder if you want, a builder, a remote builder, if you want, or a Kubernetes instance, local builder, which I will use today, etc. so you can use many builders.
Awesome.
I will so today I will use the default one. Yes, I will use this one. Okay. So I will for now I will build my app. I'm thinking. Yes. I will build and I will for test. I will load the image to the Docker client. So I will call it Docker GitHub Actions demo. Okay. And the file. Not well. I can do this for the demo. Yeah. So
There we go.
here
Cool.
I can see it will download Golang 115. Okay. Also, as you can see, Docker build sorry, has a better layout for the output of the events, etc. I think it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. You can see each layer built. I think it's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And
BuildKit will do all kinds of cool things using better caching and parallel builds. It'll do it'll look at your different stages, and if you're targeting a stage and previous stages in the Docker file that don't produce anything in when you target that stage will not be run. Things like that. So it's a more advanced builder than what the default is.
Yeah.
I recommend switching over to it. I think here pretty shortly in Docker Desktop, it's going to be the default build kit.
Yeah, that's it today. Yeah, today if you do Docker build, I think it will. Not for me. I have disabled it for testing. Yeah.
No. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
But if you do a Docker build x --astal, it will be the default one for build, and I think it's the default one for the desktop today. Yeah.
Yes. Cool. Cool.
Now I will test my image, which is called. We expose my port. Yeah. Which is called Docker. Should have used.
Yeah, I was wondering when you made that big name.
Yeah. Okay. No such. Yeah, I know why. Yes, a quick talk about that. Here, I build my image, but it's not statically linked. So I have to disable CGO. Why? Because CGO is enabled by default, I think, in the Golang Alpine image. So I will disable it and do another build. And there will be a lot of things display on the screen because it will statically link everything.
So let's build. And we got a quick question. So
yeah,
SGF is asking, explain image container layers, please. So let me
each layer.
Go. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Max.
Yeah.
Crazy Max.
Yeah, you can say Max. Yes, that's not an issue. So what is a layer properly? You want to know that? Yeah. A layer is an instruction from your Docker file. For example, it is an instruction, so it's a layer. Okay. Expose is a layer 2. And entrepreneur will be a layer 2. Okay. What is a layer? It's a simple instruction saying, for example, how can I say that? Yeah. It will be the instructions you use. The more you put instruction, the more layer we have. You can optimize a lot of things. For example, like I can optimize this, and it will be only one layer. Many images do this today because we only want a thin layer of layers.
Yes. Yeah.
So That's it. Pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah. So a layer. So each layer is read only. So every time, like Kevin was saying, each command in not all commands will create a layer, but
Yeah, not all.
your run, copy, and those type of things will create a layer in your image.
Yeah.
And they're read only, and they get stacked on top of each other, right? And so what happens at when you write? So there's a copy on write. So let's say I move in one layer, I move in my let's say foo.text, and I copy that into my image, and then on the next layer, I update foo.text. So the first, you have an image that contains foo.text, and then when I update that file, when I write to it, it copies it out of that layer and puts it on the top layer, and writes it to disk. So the original file is still there, but it gets copied on top. And
that's it.
Yeah, and layers also have to do with some caching for the speed of your builds. And you want to the layers that get changed the most often, you want to have farthest down in your build file, your Docker file, because the buildx in the default builder will look at caching when it runs the commands, and if nothing has changed in that layer, it'll reuse the cache and just recreate the layer. So source files you usually want to have at the very lowest, because those are usually what you're changing the most. And when you do builds, it'll just copy in those. It'll use cache for everything else, and then just copy in your new files. And same at runtime. So when you're running, when you have a layer at the top when your container is running that everything gets written to.
That's it.
And that layer is not persisted when your container stops. It goes away. So your containers aren't stateful. So when you start a container, the process starts running. If you write to disk, that will get wrote inside of your container. But once that process is stopped, all of that goes away, and you still have, because containers are built off of that image. And if it's not in the original image, it won't be in your container when you run it, when you start or stop it.
And there is more advanced things with buildx, buildkit, for example. If you want to cache only one layer, you can do it. It's pretty fancy because you can play with this cache, and for example, when you have dependencies like npm or Go modules, you can cache only one layer, and that's it.
Yeah, buildx. So what I described is usually it's more typical for the default builder. buildx, like Crazy Max was saying, you can do a lot of different things with it. I'll be curious, SGF, of what if there's something you're trying to work through, if you're having a problem or just trying to understand different things. You're welcome. You're welcome, SGF. Cool. All right, let's continue on. Sorry for the little sidetrack there, but I think that's a great question.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I will run my command again. I have statically linked my where is it?
But I think that's a good example there of when, since your binary wasn't statically linked when you tried to run it, and we didn't copy that into that image, right? We had two stages, and we only copied in the binary, so it's files that it needs to run. We're not copied in. So what Crazy Max did was said, oh, hey, statically link. So pull everything together into the one executable. Put it all in that binary. So now everything should be in our Scratch image.
That's it. So exception, cool. So what I'm going to do now, I'm on localhost. So thanks to WSL2 Docker machine, you have to put the image, the IP affected to the Docker machine, which is just nice. Okay, hello, you have requested. Okay. There is a little issue here. I think that's because, I have done.
This is where I'm going to be of no help to you.
No,
Crazy Max. My Golang is 0. I'm actually learning Golang right now. I've played around with it, but I'm not not proficient in it. It's kind of like when you learn something and you do tutorials and you build some smaller things, right? It's not, you don't really learn something until you
I
actually build
forgot
something
that.
big. Yeah.
Forgot that. Right. Okay. Demo effect. That's nice. Okay, I rebuild
Well,
my app.
when you're doing that, I'll take a shot at this question here.
Yeah.
So for storage data not to go off instead of using ephemeral storage, can't we use persistent storage? Yes, you can. That's exactly the way you should do it. You can use volumes, you can do mount volumes, or you can use Docker volumes. And that's the way you want to do it. You want to mount a volume to your container, and then all data that's written that you want to persist, you want to write it to that volume. So then that volume will persist, and once your container process stops, everything is still in that volume, and you can start new containers and attach it. You can run totally different containers based on different images and attach it to that volume. So those volumes is where your data is stored.
Yeah.
And there's different ways to connect those in the different cloud providers or in your own. But locally, I recommend using volumes instead of mounting. It depends on what you're doing. If you're, want source code inside of your image, inside of your container while it's running, then you can do a bind mount. But typically, so if I run, let's say Mongo locally, I create volumes that I have a bunch of test data in. And when I start up my Mongo, it just connects to that. And I always have sample test data persisted. Yeah, so you want to use volumes if you want to persist your storage. All right.
Okay. So yeah, like you said, yeah, you can mount bind or something like that, but you can also mount folders directly into your Docker file if you want, for example, to mount a cache folder or something like that. With BuildX, you can also do it. It's pretty nice. It's portable, I think. If people have a standard location for their path, for the Go module cache path or something like that, it could be nice too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everything is working. I have my endpoint working.
Can you bump up
Yeah.
your yeah, there we go. Cool. Perfect. There we go. So we can see you're passing in a parameter, and then that's getting spit back out. Nice.
So okay, that's a basic thing. So now what we want to do, we want to distribute this nice app. So
yes.
I'm going to create the correction, how the correction works. So that's pretty basic. It's a YAML definition file, which contains some jobs, steps. If you know Circle CI or other providers like that, it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah. I know many people hate YAML, but well, I'm pretty okay with it. Pretty okay with it. So
it's now what the language of the cloud, YAML.
Yeah, that's it. It's a data language. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this case, we create a new workflow. I will call it build, for example, because I want to build my app. I will jump now to the action we have created with Docker. That's the one. I will try to zoom in. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
So what I want to do, I want to build my image. Pretty straight, something pretty straight like this. Yeah. So I will explain each step for you. So this step, for example, check out your code. It's a kind of Git clone, if you prefer, Git checkout.
Cool.
This step I will talk about it later. This step enable BuildX for this action. It's not required at this time. Required, I said not required, but it is required if we want to push your image. I will talk about it later too, if you want. This step use our login action to log into Docker Hub to the registry. And then there is the build push action, which build the Docker file across many platforms if you want, with a defined tag. Okay, so
Awesome.
I will take that. I will define to the event when this action will be started. So I tell on push event on the main branch, I will build my project.
Nice.
So that's pretty much it. Okay, so I think we are ready to push this. I will do this, yes, on IRM, so 54, yeah, 64, yeah. Okay, yes, let's look up. I will change this. I will use a slug of my own. So I want to push this on Docker Hub. My login is this, and the actions demo, yeah, pretty. Wrong name. Okay, so.
Hey, so King just joined. He's wondering what we're doing. So let me fill him in while you're going there. But yeah, so we have Kevin on, who's did the bulk of the work for our Docker GitHub Actions, and he built a little Go REST endpoint, let's call it. And so we built a Docker file to build that, just a very basic Docker file that compiled the Golang app into a binary, and we put that into an image. We've run that, built it, and run it locally. And now Crazy Max is putting together our GitHub Actions action to build that, to build this in GitHub when we do a push to master or main, I think.
Okay.
So that's where we're at. Thanks for joining, though, guys.
But that's pretty much what I need now to build and push my image. So I will go to the repository. I only have this. Oh, remind me later. So okay. So here is the repository. It is private for now, but I will make it public if you want to take a look.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm going to push everything from it. I will hide my screen because I have to type the password. Okay. So I have pushed my changes. And now, because there is a workflow, I have to go to my action tab. Up. Okay. And the workflow is initiated. So it will go through my steps. My steps are the one I define here. So let's see what it does. So the first step will check out, like I said, so it will check out my code based on the event. So I push on master for this commit ID. So it will check out this commit ID. Okay. Then setup QEMU. It's QEMU static binaries to allow to create a cross-platform image. If you want more than the default ones, I think AMD 64 and 380X, 86. I think that the default ones. And if you want to build, for example, on a RAM 64, RISC-V, PowerPC, or something like that, you can do. So, as I can see, I will try to stretch my screen. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So here, I've told to my build push action to use my context, the default context. Oh, okay, yeah, okay, everything looks good. That's nice. So yeah, so I use my Docker GitHub Actions demo tag with my username. Why it is like this? Because it's a secret. Secrets are you put credentials in as secrets in your on your repository if you want to expose your token, your username to for for example, to log in against a registry, to push to npm.js or something like that. It's available in the settings of your repository. So here I have some secrets. I have a secrets for Docker Hub, and I have a secrets here. It's a container path personal access token. It's for GitHub container registry. I want to make a quick demo to push to Docker Hub but I don't think we have time for this. So I will straight on this. Okay. If I look to the action, okay, everything looks good. So if I look at the logs, so as we can see, it built for Linux 386, AMD64, ARM. So as you can see, also the logs are parallelized. Everything is done in its own Go routine. As you can see, we can see also my Go onv command, which display, for example, here ARM64. So as you can see, it's a right platform for this. Okay, right. And everything is pushed to Docker Hub. So if I ever take a look to Docker Hub.
Can you zoom in a little bit there for us?
Yeah.
Perfect.
We'll see if I have my tag displayed. Yeah.
Wait for the internet. Okay, there we go. Oh, there they all are. Sweet. 386, okay. AMD 64,
so,
ARM 64.
Yes,
nice.
As we can see, yes, we are successfully push our Docker image for this. So now I will try to use it. So I'm on WSL2 with Ubuntu. It's an AMD 364. So it will detect which kind of platform I use on my local environment. So it will pull the right image. So this one. So I will just push maybe the image. It downloads the image from Docker Hub. Okay, so it has downloaded the image, as you can see. Yeah, okay, so if I go here, now it should be good. Yeah. So that's it. That's pretty much it for the GitHub Actions.
Nice.
You can also, if you want, like I said, push to multi-registries if you want. So you just have to log in against, for example, again GHCR, which is the registry from GitHub. .io. Here, the username will be my username on GitHub, and I use a CR path. Okay, and I will push also the tag for GHCR like this, and that's it. And with this, I will push for GHCR and for Docker Hub, and that's all I need. So I will push this quickly, and it should be good, hopefully.
Nice.
Okay.
Perfect. Excelente.
And it should be done up. And it should be done quickly because I think I don't use cache. I could have used cache for this, but it's a quick demo.
Yes. Yeah. So if you want to get more info, join our community Slack. And we have a channel in there for the GitHub Actions. So if you're using GitHub Actions, join our community Slack, jump into the GitHub Actions channel. I'm in there. Crazy Max is in there.
Yeah.
Some of our other engineers are in there. So jump in, ask any questions you have.
If you need some feedback, we are pleased to respond.
Yeah, for sure. Let me drop. So to join the community Slack, if you're not in there yet, I will, let me give you the link. Hopefully that doesn't, I should be able to post a link there in the chat. That's we have two kings on here. We're lucky. We have King Kellyanne and King Mayhem. Do you two kings know each other? Is what I'm wondering. But so King Kellyanne trying to make a Discord chat bot because you're bored, just to yell at people. Don't yell at people. Be nice.
Okay. It's pushed to share. Okay, it's pushed to share.
Hasta luego. Hasta luego.
Hasta.
That's thanks. Do you know Hasta?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She wants my socks from Docker.
Okay.
Okay, so cool. Yeah, it's working. So the image, as you can see, it's pushed to GHCR and Docker Hub. So if I go on my package, private package tab, it should show. Internet is pretty slow today. Yeah, here we can see it. We can see I have my latest tag for the 3 arc I have used. So I have pushed to Docker Hub and GHCR. And you can do this also on other registries if you want. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and so if you want to go pull those images down and
yeah, I will share.
Make a bunch of money on the internet with Max's tool here. Yeah, cool. So again, jump on our community Slack. If you have any questions, jump into the Slack channel there, the GitHub Actions Slack channel. Ask any questions if you have any. Yeah. Also, too, the GitHub repo. Let me put the GitHub repo link in there. And you can create any issues in there to have discussions. Feel free to fork the repo. Play around, add some features, and then enter. Open a pull request. We'd love that. Let me put the link.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So there's the link to the GitHub Actions. But yeah, perfect. Let's see if I can. There we go. Make sure follow Kevin on Twitter. You can also follow me on Twitter or P McKee. Feel free to tweet at me if you have any questions. Not too in depth. Twitter's not the best. Twitter's not the best way to help you troubleshoot or answer many in depth technical questions. But definitely tweet at me if there's any kind of anybody you would like to see on the show or any subject you'd like us to talk about. Please feel free to tweet at me. Let me know. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all we have today. If anybody has any questions, feel free to shoot them in the chat. We're not going away yet. But yeah, ask any questions. Really appreciate Crazy Max or Kevin, aka Crazy Max, on the show. He's over the pond, as we say here in the United States, over there in France. Correct?
France, yep. Nancy, yeah.
So a little bit later than us here in the U.S., but and I think we got a bunch of folks around the world on. Our community is pretty global, so that's pretty cool to see the diversity in the community. Yeah, awesome. Well, if you don't have any questions, and if you have any general Docker questions, feel free to ask them now. We can answer them while we're here.
A Slack community or through an issue if you want.
Yeah. What are you working on now, Kevin? You got any other fun little side projects you're messing around with?
Yes, I'm currently working on Docker beta. It's to generate tags and labels based on specification, like OCI specification or something like that. It has been merged yesterday on the build push action repository, but no, for now I don't have any side projects. For now.
Awesome. Well, I have a couple that maybe I'll send your way. No, I'm just kidding. You never. I'm one of those people that never run out of ideas, but just time to implement them. Right? Yeah, and they're not always the best ideas. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I have a bunch of good ideas. I just have ideas. They're usually not they're usually not the best. But what I'm really to learn to be in the engine. I want to get more involved in the open source engine, so I need to learn Go a little bit more in depth. Like I said, I know it decently well, but to actually contribute to the project, I would need to learn it more. But
the line curve with Go is pretty nice compared to other language. It's pretty straightforward. There is many examples in the Go doc, etc. So yeah, it's pretty easy to start. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
To start with.
Let's see. Someone. So King Kellyon is asking, do you guys have a Discord? We do. Let me get you a link. Where to go?
I will
there you go.
Take a look at the chat. Yeah.
Yeah, let me Discord. So there's the Discord link. And then I also dropped in the chat for anybody that wants to.
I'm only on Slack. I don't know. We got.
Yeah, it's a little bit new, but okay. Yeah, folks are in there talking around. The tools and communities, especially now, the state of the world right now with COVID, are interesting. I'm seeing a lot of stuff pop up. I was actually looking at a company this morning that's doing some community stuff for events. So doing live events and a tool that help give a little more community interaction, right? It's hard that we're all spread out. I think that's one of the big things I really miss from conferences and meetups is actually getting to see people face to face and, sharing a little bite to eat and some drinks and talk about some nerd stuff. But it's still good. I mean, I'm glad we have the internets. I couldn't imagine doing this without the internet, right? I think we'd be very, very isolated and at least we're able to get online and do things like this still. So that's nice. But yeah. Okay. So we got a question around how can we do, yeah, this might be a little bit hard to answer here in the next 3 minutes.
I think Dennis could respond for this.
Yeah. Probably the best thing to do is jump in the Slack and ask a question there in general. And we'll take a look at it, try and help you out. It's hard to it's hard to do kind of more answer more in-depth questions like that on a live stream. Let's see.
3 of DPDK, maybe it's for device, for some kind of device, networking device or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Yeah.
Okay, whenever I'm 18, I would love to work on a huge project with the team. I'm 14, wow, and I only have about 6 months of JS. Yeah, keep going, keep plugging away. You are definitely ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Especially in now's this day and age. When I started programming, you had AOL and we got passed around these CDs. Some of you younger folks out there might not know what those are, but we got a CD that you would drop it. Yeah, and but with internets now, it's awesome, man. There's a ton of information out there. Sometimes it can be overwhelmed. So my advice would be just stick with it. It's hard for everybody. This stuff is hard, but if you have a passion and have a desire to learn and develop, stick with it and just follow that passion, right? Wherever it takes you and learn as much as you can. Build code and build things. That's how you get better. And another thing is try and get involved in an open source project, even if it's a JavaScript project, a small one. Get involved, right? That's really helps when reading other people's code and understanding other people's code, debugging their code, and then adding a little feature in it. Those are what we do in the real world. When you're on an engineering team, you don't always get to write applications from scratch. That's not super common, right? If you're in a microservices environment where you can write small services, but usually you're working in larger code bases. You're working with code that's been around for a while. So it's very, very important to be able to read code, to understand code, and to be able to refactor that code. So that's
Yeah.
yeah.
And you are a good young fella, so at the age your brain is faster than yours. So
Yes, yeah, exactly. Exactly. You
no
can
excuses.
yeah, no excuses. Yeah, we need young folks to keep coming into the industry
Yeah.
from all around the world, right? It's going to be interesting, and I can't imagine. And let's see, I started developing in about 95 professionally. Before that, when I was a youngster, I would mess around, but so that's 20 close to 20 years, I think. 25 years. And pardon me.
Bless you.
Nothing like sneezing on a live shows. Pardon me. But yeah, and things have changed drastically in the past 20 years. I can't imagine in the next 20 years the tools we'll have, the languages we'll have, the runtimes we'll have. It'll be changing fast. So it's definitely exciting. If you're interested in those type of things, it's awesome. It's a great time to be part of the global programming community, development community, tech community, right? It's just a lot going on. All right, folks. So we're at our hour. Really appreciate everybody jumping on. Huge thanks to you, Crazy Max. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Chad. Yeah, that was very nice.
Yeah, great having you. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate the demo.
Yeah, sure.
We'll definitely have you on again.
Okay.
To do some other things for sure.
Okay.
Oh, we got a question here. Can we can do? I can do a talk on. Yeah, we should do a live stream on networking. Networking is a big topic and can get complicated, but when you understand kind of the basics and the way Docker does networking, that becomes a little bit easier than understand the more advanced things. But yeah, well, I think we'll do that. We'll get something scheduled. Well, thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. Again, thank you, Crazy Max.
Thanks.
And
yeah, thanks.
y'all,
thank you.
Y'all have a good day. Reach out, stay connected. Let us know if you have any questions, and we'll talk to you online.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye, everybody.